Hey guys, so we're going to go ahead and do a spirit talk. And so there's a lot going on. Whew. It's like I have a couple of clients that I still need to get done, but I know they're asleep. Either way, I'm gonna get their videos done tonight. So in the morning when they wake up, they'll be there. But I keep thinking about everything that's going on. I'm like, let me get my YouTube out of the way, get this going on, and then and then I'm good. Then I'm good, and I can do this. So, but anyway, this is what I want to talk about. So, first we know Trump, of course, said he's gonna. I almost said admitted. I almost said admitted. We knew he was gonna do it. He's gonna run for the presidency. Gonna run 2024. We knew that was going to happen. Several reasons. One, I'm sure the man wants to try to stay out of jail. Okay, I think that's one of the biggest reasons, personally. Because I don't think he likes being president. I mean, as far as the job and the work, he likes the status, he likes the love, he likes the rallies, and the attention, stuff like that. He likes being important, but the actual work, we know we golfed a lot. Okay, but it's also there's ways to make money being president, and he did make money being president. There's some articles he made. He made quite a bit of money being president. Okay, and I know people say, "Oh, he didn't take a check." No, no, no. You better go dig. Okay, he made a lot of money, and even when he lost, he made money because people were giving him money to try to get back in office. And oh Lord, he's done the con, and he's good at what he does. He is. You have to admire him. He's good at what he does. Okay, I know. We all can say, "Oh, he's an idiot." You know what? He's good at what he does. Okay, period. I don't care. Okay, so anyway, but bring into the grift the money. Okay, this is the other thing. Okay, this that's what I'm saying. I want to keep out of jail, but the gift that keeps on giving, people throw money at me when I'm campaigning, running, whatever. Okay, he's and the funny thing I found out with the thing, obviously we know he endorsed Herschel Walker, and you guys, if hopefully you watch my vids, some of them, it's like there's almost a comical thing, and yet the shit's almost dark and not funny at all. It's a mix, the Herschel Walker thing. Okay, and just as long as he loses, in the end, which Raphael Warnock should squeak by, but the fact that that was a close run, and there's going to be a runoff, which think the Senate is in Dems' hands, so yep, we're good. But the fact there's a runoff, that says a lot about America. Okay, and that's one of the big things. So that's why I felt that this eyes on Georgia, we need to look at this. What is happening? Because there, well, let me not go on about Herschel Walker because I've talked about him extensively. Y'all know. Y'all need, he's unfit. Okay, so anyway, but Trump, he has this thing, to kind of, on his website, apparently, kind of donate, toward helping Herschel Walker, beat, with the runoffs. He's got a donation thing, to raise money for him. Well, when you go to the website and you can pick your donation, and like say if you pick the $100 button, I think there's $100 button, I'm just going to assume if you click $100, basically, and you'll see Trump's face and Herschel Walker's face. $90 of it would go to Trump and $10 would go to Herschel Walker. Yes, so any of this raising money for Herschel Walker, the the Trump the Trump part gets 90% of it, and Herschel Walker gets 10%. It's so in your face. Classic Trump. He will use anything to make money. Okay, I mean, if he really cared about helping Herschel Walker, he'd give him a lot. Well, at least give him 50-50. But no, if you go there, he is he's taken 90%. Okay, so anybody who, how do they not see the con? Okay, but I'm hoping people are smarter and wiser. But the one thing that's happening, okay, so we know he announced the run. He's going to run for president. We knew he was. We knew this was going to happen. He has to. Stay out of jail. This is a way to make money. There's benefits for him whether win or lose. And then of course if he loses, it's going to be a big old election fraud. We're going to do it all over again, right? And and it's going to be everybody counting, and then court cases and all. We know you don't need me to throw tarot to do this, right? Okay. So anyway, but then that's if he gets a nomination, and I will inevitably read on that. That we will get there. We will get there. Let's just let it simmer for a minute. All that is happening right now in the universe. But the thing with the midterms is now the Republicans, they thought a red wave would happen. It was guaranteed in the bag because we've got inflation and there's, like crime. There is crime. Crime has gone up in areas. Things have happened. Things have got restless ever since 2020. I know even in my area, crime has definitely gone up. I was just talking to somebody about it very recently. But the thing is, I feel like people are more investigative and hip and are realizing that as far as inflation, I've told you guys this is a global phenomenon. It is a global problem. This is not necessarily a situation where it's just only a US problem with inflation. Okay, it's a global problem. Everything on the globe is being affected, and if anything, we are doing better than other countries are. Okay, I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying it's just a wee bit better. Okay, so we can only blame Biden so much. Yes, we do still want him to do something about it. Do not get me wrong, but at the same time, it is a global problem. Inflation. And two, certain things were taking women's rights away. That's a big factor. You kind of messed up there. Also, young people, if you look at my community, kind of what I said on it, they are getting out. They're more hipper. They're educating themselves, and they're voting, and they're voicing things. And this is why there was even a snap, and I think I showed you guys, they would love to change the voting age to 21 and up. And the reason why is because young people don't want this kind of crap. They're these rich old billionaires and all this, giving money to everything. Young people cannot afford to get out there, live once they're 18, or once even they get out of college, they're not able to afford to live. They're it's up to the point where they're having to maybe get a bunch of roommates, or say if you get married and have kids, they still can't afford a home. The homes are because these big realtor property management people, they buy them all up. Various people buy up all these properties, and they hike the prices and all this. People can't afford them, and it's ridiculous. So a single family, back in the day, who could get a house. Like I remember years ago when I was in my 20s and when I was with my fiance, we were able to get a house. And the house was like 80,000. The house is probably, if I Zillowed it right now, is probably, a $400,000 house right now. Okay, I'm just saying, guys. At least a $400,000 house. I would have to look it up. But people can't afford a home, or they have so much college debt they can't afford a home because the debt to income ratio, the creditors are like, you have too much debt. We can't get you a home. Even if they've got a good job, even if they are paying their bills on time. Okay, so the American dream. And see, I'm not even worried about, getting a house and all that stuff. It's like, well, I'm going to be dead before I could even, own it. So what's the point even worrying about that right now at my age? So, it's like I may as well rent, just go in, later if I want to go into a retirement community or something. I've thought about that, just kind of be around some other old people. I'm good with that. But, trying to, buy a home at this point, what is the point? I'm going to die before I get the bank's just going to take it. It really doesn't matter at this point. So, the American dream is just, it feels impossible for young people. So this is the thing they're kind of voting on. They're sick of this. They're upset with everybody. They're upset with all of the old people. Okay, Democrats, Republicans, everybody. They're not necessarily pointing to one party. Okay, they're like, y'all fucked it up, and you left us with a mess. Okay, where everything is so expensive, and if I want an education, that's incredibly expensive, and I can't, can barely feed myself, and I'm working 4 jobs to, try to just, pay rent, and I got to have, 3 roommates in a house so we can try to afford to live. They're struggling. They're struggling. So they went out and voted. Okay, they're voting. And so this red wave, isn't coming. This red wave isn't coming. Okay. So there's a whole lot there. But, like I said, they're not happy with Dems either. And that's why if I kind of feel it out, is there like, I wish you people would just figure it out. Just get along, come to some kind of an agreement to, have this earth be inhabitable. Okay, be inhabitable one day. So, if I want to, and notice, people aren't wanting to bring kids into the picture. There are young people who do not want to have children because they fear the future for those kids. Why would I bring it is true. If I was a young person right now, I would probably not have kids. And I know that's kind of a sad thing. I love my kids, don't get me wrong, I love my kids, but I would be fearful of bringing young people into this world. Well, what's what's their future, right? Be kind of nervous. Now I know us spiritualists, we're looking toward a new earth and all that good stuff. I know. There is that, but still, let's be on the safe side here. And everything, what is going to come of the world, like I said, would it be inhabitable, and everything like that. So anyway, I'm ranting. I don't want to rant too much. There's a whole lot I want to talk about. So, but this is how it goes down. So I kind of fall asleep after work. I was watching a few things, kind of waiting on the announcement, which I don't know why it's I know what he's gonna say. I know what, but maybe I didn't because as I awaken and I'm like, oh, he announced the bid. Let me kind of flip around, and so I kind of play a thing, and it went into the middle of one of the lives on YouTube of when he announced. So I kind of popped in there somewhere, and the ramble that was coming from Trump was basically that, the drug dealers, we should arrest them, try convict them, whatever, and give them the death penalty. And then he was saying, if anybody saw this part, please let me know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did I hear something wrong? But he basically said, when he, would go over and talk to leaders, he talked to the leader of China, Z or whatever, and was talking about drug problems. And he's like, China doesn't have a drug problem, because they execute, drug dealers, so they don't have a drug problem. And he thinks it's a good idea. And I'm like, whoa, okay. This should be a clue here. Okay, some of his ideas, he's got ideas like they got ideas. Okay, let's just, and he's kind of talking about fentanyl and everything. Let's just execute him. Let's just give him the death penalty, and that'll stop the drug problem. Okay, just like what, like in Middle Eastern, if you steal, cut off a hand. I mean, we're good to go with here. What is happening here? And so, but so that just that little bit of snip that I woke up to. Okay, and I didn't watch much more after that. There was a little bit of incoherent babble, but that, and then the cheers and the cheers. Okay. So guys, this is dangerous stuff. This is dangerous stuff. But then also, as the midterms and there wasn't a big red wave, also the whole party where everybody was licking his boots is now turning on him and blaming him for the midterm loss. And you can't blame Trump at this point because he hasn't been president for a couple of years. He gave a Trump touch, he did this, whatever. And a lot of people pander to him because he's got an incredible base, and he's got fans, and he's got people, that are they're Trump ride or die. And, but now they're seeing him going a little bit down in the polls, and Ron DeSantis is getting more love, especially since these people that had the Trump touch did not win, and people are kind of upset about it. That maybe people are going to start leaning on Ron DeSantis to become the get the nomination. That's not necessarily set in the water. I'm going to read on it soon. Okay, I know Ron is gonna run. He's gonna run. It's gonna happen. And Trump, just because of his ego, has to run because he has to beat Ron DeSantis. He can't see Ron DeSantis get the love. He has to be the favorite of the Republicans of America. There's a whole lot. And that's why he's trying to talk shit about Ron DeSantis and throw him under the bus. And he obviously made the one statement he might have helped rig the election for him to get elected. And oh my God, the things that is happening. It's dramatic. It's ridiculous. But anyway, just that one little snip, and then I think I kind of turned it off. I'm like, I get the idea. I will look a little bit more at the incoherent babble later. With him kind of going up there and posturing, but it was a lot, and I'm not ready for this. But this gives me the Spirit wanted me to see just that part to get an idea. That's all I need. And stuff. The fact that he's saying, yeah, let's do it like China. Let's just give all the drug dealers the death penalty. Let's just kill them all. Oh Lord, here we go. Okay, and all the cheers and stuff. Now, as far as, Ron DeSantis, don't be fooled by polls. If you've learned anything, don't be fooled by polls. I did get I was watching a vid. I get a snip about people, whether they're on board with Trump or DeSantis. And I was talking with a friend of mine about it. As far as, I don't know, people like Ron DeSantis, would they turn on him because of Trump? And I said, from what I've seen with interviews, because I watched somewhere, people have gone out to interview Republicans, whether they like Trump, whatever. But when they have interviewed, this is what they're saying. They like both Trump and Ron DeSantis. This is the Republican side. People that are Republican people, whatever, they like Trump and they like DeSantis both. So they're not necessarily disliking Ron. I don't see anybody saying, I don't like that guy, supported Trump. It's not like that. They're saying, I like both. But when they ask if you have to pick one or the other, at least the video I saw, a lot of them are saying Trump. That's my guy. Trump. Okay. So, do not think if Trump and Ron DeSantis, and of course there's going to be other ones, do not think Ron DeSantis, because of polls, or even because of this speckle versus red wave, that Ron DeSantis has the nomination in the bag. Okay, there are people who are Trump ride or die, especially the extremists. Okay, they are Trump ride or die. They want him. They think he is the Messiah. I haven't heard anybody saying Ron DeSantis is the Messiah here, guys. And there are people who swear he's the Messiah. And there's just people who just like his style. Now, the other thing, and like I said, we will read on it when ready. I'm going to do a little mini, though, message, of course, because it's a Spirit Talk. I'll throw a couple cards down. And the other thing, don't underestimate Trump when he gets out in debates. Now, I know he's very bizarre and the things he says, but the way he debates with people like it. Okay, they like his style, they like his being insulting or whatever, and he will still, even within that debate, throw in a few little quips that maybe have a ring of truth, and then it's mixed up with a little conspiracy, and then it's mixed up with a little insult, and people gobble it up. He is good when he gets on the debate. Don't underestimate him, because he did get the nomination a long time ago and he did win the presidency. Do not underestimate that man when he debates. Okay, so if it comes between him and Ron DeSantis when they go to debate, and somewhere in there it's coming, do not underestimate Trump's ability. This is something that Ron DeSantis is going to have to bust his butt to be able to handle the likes of Trump in a debate. Okay, he's got his own freaking style, and he knows how. He's good at it. I will give the man credit. He knows how to debate. He's sloppy, he's funky, yet it works when people listen to him. He is very influential. Okay, so don't underestimate. He's very manipulative. He's a con. He donned the con. That's who he is and stuff. So I don't underestimate Trump. Okay, I know he's foolish, yet you know he knows how to read the room. Okay, he knows how to push buttons. He's manipulative. Okay, and a good con knows how to do that. Okay, don't underestimate him. So yeah, that's the big news. That's the big news. We got to be prepared for. And matter of fact, I got this new Oracle deck. It's not really new. I got it from the Spiritualist Church. Let's just pull a few cards just to kind of sum up a little bit of that. And yes, like I said though, I will read. How some things will go down. It's just a wee bit early, guys. Okay, I really try to feel out. Don't read too soon. So I've got the card Claim Your Power as I'm reading about Trump and Ron DeSantis, kind of, with some of this energy. But the Claim Your Power is what Trump is trying to do. Okay, by going in here and, announcing the presidency, he loves the power. That's the big thing. And I know this can be a positive, Claim Your Power. I'm kind of giving a different kind of energy here. That's what he's trying to do. He wants to claim that power. He wants it. Like, he's ready for the presidency. And if he loses, okay, one, he wants a nomination. He's got to get that first. But and like I said, don't underestimate him. We can't. We have got to be smart nowadays. Ron DeSantis will get it. It's tough. But even if he gets it, then we got to look at him. Okay, because he's still smart. He's not a good guy, and he's smart. Okay, so there's, whole thing I could say on that. But still, Trump is dangerous. And like I said, just that little snip that I got of him accepting the nomination and stuff, and firing the Chinese and executing drug dealers and stuff. I know drug dealing is a terrible thing, but yeah, okay, you get the idea. All right, so he's up there to claim his power. Okay, so let's see what else Spirit has to say and stuff. And it's never alone. Okay, so what I feel Spirit is trying to say with Trump, he's going to have plenty of supporters. He ain't alone on this. And while you guys say, oh, look, people are turning on Trump, that ain't going to last for long. Okay, because once all the supporters come out there and they're, oh, Trump, and they will come. They will come. They're ride or die Trump people. Okay, then all those people that are kind of criticizing at the moment, maybe throwing, Fox News, whatever, they're going to stop throwing Trump under the bus, and he will not. He's getting it, and they're going to start loving him again. Okay, just he is not alone. He is not alone on this. And so, and yeah, that you are powerful. He is powerful. Okay, do not underestimate Trump's power. Guys, we can't. I know he's a buffoon, but like I said, he knows how to read the room. He knows how to debate, okay, and stuff. And we know not to underestimate. I hope we do. He's got a lot of power, okay, and he wants that presidency. He wants to redeem himself and stuff. But I've got a benevolent energy popping up too, okay. So still, even though there's all this stuff, there's a nice benevolent energy that is coming in that has to balance this out. That does not want this craziness to happen. Okay, so don't think Spirit's leaving us on our own here. Totally. Not, and also you carry light. Many folks out there have the light. We have the ability to bring the light out here, and it's working. The light ones are coming out. They're coming out. They're voting. They're doing it. They're doing their best. I've also got the card Family Forever. So one of the things we got to remember, no matter what, we are a human family and everything. No matter what, we're all in this together, okay, and stuff. And if we could just remember this, it would be good. Let's just pull one more. So, this is a good little deck. And stuff. Your light helps. Any little bit of light you can put out in the world right now, it does help. And I know you might feel like, if I say a little something, I can only reach this is the thing, all voices need to come out. We all got to get out there and get our voices out a little bit. Like, even if I could do just a little bit on my channel, maybe I'll make a little TikTok. Though I like to keep my TikToks kind of light. It just depends. You know, every little thing serves a purpose. But just get your voice out there. Do not be afraid to speak up, speak your truth, you know, get messages out and everything like that. So that's one thing I want to talk about. Another thing I want to talk about today, on Spirit Talk, there's another phenomenon happening. Just always paying attention to the collective. Keep an eye on the collective. There's a lot still going on with Kanye West. There's a whole lot going on. I know. Keep an eye on Kanye. Do not take your eyes off necessarily. And I know we can only handle so much at a time, but you know, he's definitely, my assessment, and it's also kind of like, why is this all happening now? You know, my assessment of Kanye West, and I know people have very strong opinions. If you see it's definitely stirring discussion, which I feel is a good thing, about things that are happening with Kanye West. Let's just say West, and give him, you know, I mean, he's coming out and he's saying some things that are very strong, powerful, sometimes offensive. You know, we obviously, if he, you know, I was looking at it, really trying to assess spirit, what is going on with this man, and why is this making such an impact on the collective? And I have a video on it, and I've got ideas already, but just trying to go a little deeper. I do actually believe that Kanye West, and I know some of you might, you know, some of you may agree, and some of you may think, you know, oh, that's crazy. I do actually feel he's coming into an awakening moment. I do see it happening, kind of, you know, like, you know, when Jim Carrey had his thing, or Russell Brand, right? You know, which I know people can say what they want about those guys, but still there is some kind of hitting this weird awakening, you know, and kind of moment that is kind of changing. And when this happens to people, I'm not saying it is completely perfect and systematic. Everybody, when they're, you could say, unplugging from the matrix or coming into an awakening, is very different. It's not always peaceful and Buddha-like. Okay, it's not always like that. And sometimes folks can come across crazy, mad, weird, and stuff like that, okay? And I see the signs of it. And there are some things, as a matter of fact, I'm going to share a snip of some things he says. Luckily, pretty much what he says is pretty good in this vid. And I really listened to it. I was cooking some spaghetti. I heard it before, but I played it again on my, I had YouTube up while I'm just kind of listening to it while I'm making spaghetti. And I'm like, yeah, he says in this video, whatever kind of moment he was having, I can definitely feel like the higher self is speaking through Ye West at this moment. But I feel there's also kind of like there's dark forces that are almost trying to prevent him from having this moment, because he also he has ability to you know, maybe influence, wake up some people. He could. He's in a powerful position right now that at least is getting people to listen. Oh, I'm about to cough on here. 1 moment. So there's this unraveling, but when people very often have this moment, they can seem like madmen, mad people, and almost crazy, deranged, and it's really, you're crazy. And that is actually a common thing that, okay, now we have to look at, is this person completely bonkers, or are they awakening, okay, to something? In these moments when this is happening, it's very hard to tell the difference. Okay, I feel he's kind of on the precipice. If he could just get in the right direction, he could be pretty profound with some things here. But there's, like I said, I feel some dark forces kind of messing with. Okay, just my feel. And matter of fact, let me throw down cards while I talk about that. just to kind of back up a little bit of what I'm saying. And if you see me taking off my glasses, I'm actually going to get them rechecked. I think I got the wrong prescription. So I struggle here. But let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. So we've got the Ten of Wands, oppression. I know he's talking about that. Okay, oppression. He's got a lot of weight on him, but also there, like I said, some forces are trying to oppress him. There are definitely those who don't want him to speak. When he is, I know what he's trying to say, but once in a while he gets caught up and he says some things that people are taking very, very crazy, wrong. And let me put it, like what he said, something like slavery was a choice. Maybe he is trying to say one thing, but it's coming out the very wrong way that is very, offensive. Okay, and stuff. I know what he's trying to say, but he shouldn't say it, and he should completely say it another way. Okay, it's not, and but what I'll play this video and maybe you'll kind of see he does kind of have a thing about we're always looking back in the past and living in the past, and kind of we got to get in the now, look in the future. This is kind of affecting you. I'll let you see what he says, but anyway, it's still fascinating to examine it. As I say that, I draw the Six of Cups, which is about the past, nostalgia. Okay, he's kind of talking about, he's kind of saying people can get trapped in the past, and maybe there's, especially like say with African American, certain things of the past, history, and he's like, everybody's kind of focused on all this history, but this is the thing, is that we need to know history, okay, and even there was something that kind of popped up in my awareness today, something about like rewriting history, that there are those who kind of want to do that. We need to know our history though, okay, and stuff. It's important. And why is even the like say the forces that be trying to get people to burn books and do that and not want to talk about the real truth about history? Okay, we need to know our history. Okay, and stuff. We can't be sitting here living a lie. We need to look at it honestly. If we're going to learn from the past, we need to know it. Okay, so I know what he's saying, but at the same time, like I said, I feel some forces. Okay, and he's got to fight his own ego too, right? He's got to fight his own ego. It's up with the Wheel of Fortune. Now, one of the things about that, he's still got money, but he's lost a lot of fortune too, but he doesn't seem to care. Okay, there definitely is. It's not real. I mean, if Adidas can take a contract and he goes so down in wealth, was it even real? Okay, so Wheel of Fortune and stuff. And a lot of people are like, oh, he's being punished financially. He's, this, that. He doesn't care though. And that's one of the interesting things. And that is also, it can be the mark of somebody that's awakening, by the way. Okay, just saying. Stuff in the Three of Pentacles, which could be about, like I said, here's the works, the teamwork, kind of thing. Kind of looking at that, I feel that, he's coming into kind of some maybe, some kind of power. Certain people are kind of, team ye and stuff, that are kind of looking at what he has to say. But, he's also got people that are lining up against him. It's, weird. And then I've also got the Lovers. There are certain things with, his relationship definitely has been talked about. And then we've got the Emperor. Now, the Emperor I don't feel is him. The Emperor, which can be, the, kind of God of War energy and stuff, that I've talked about. He seems to be kind of speaking up against the man. and what I mean by that, he's made some very recent strong statements, even about, things about the music industry and various things. Like the word sacrifice was used very recently and everybody's talking about it. Okay, that's another thing, and there's a whole lot of controversy about that. If people have heard, the various, the Illuminati, and there has to be a sacrifice and various things, and he did make a statement about his mother being a sacrifice. Now that actually, I did find him. He made a statement like that way back in 2015. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Okay. And then also the Ace of Cups. So he does seem, from what I believe, is he's trying to work on an authentic spirit connection. He realizes that's the most important thing. And that's one of the things he was saying was, God loves me. He's been saying that God loves me and stuff, so he's definitely working on his spirit. But he's, like I said, he's unraveling. Okay, he's kind of in this unraveling process of awakening. It's not so simple, and I'm hoping he gets away from this. How do I explain it? This, don't do this anti-Semitism talky. Just stay away from that, okay? That's part of the dark forces and everything. So it's crazy, but yeah. Let's go ahead. It's a very good vid. I think it's about 10 minutes, is it? But I want you guys to hear it. And let me find it. Oh, there's Trump. Yeah, everybody's saying he's back. But it was very powerful what he says. Hopefully I can find it, unless Spirit don't want me to talk about it. Come on, no, there it is. And stuff. And even Farrakhan. Farrakhan spoke up. Because there's also the Kyrie Irving, was getting a lot of flack too. Okay, so it's Kanye and Kyrie are really being held up for some of this stuff. And it's very it's very dramatic right now, and it's like I was looking at the Kyrie Irving situation. I don't know a whole lot about this book. I guess it's Heroes to Negroes, and apparently there is some theory of African American, well, I should say black people, because from Africa, because it's not just straight obviously American. If you're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel and things like that, seeing that they were African, but there's some heavy anti-Semitism and maybe denying of the Holocaust in this book. Weird theories that, anyway. But there are some, like African Americans and various who are reading this book and being impacted, and apparently it kind of spoke to Kyrie in some way. Okay, and I was looking at it, and it's like, just bear with me. Okay, I have not read the book. But just what I was just kind of feeling is maybe some of this, like, hey, maybe we're, African Americans, Black people are part of a history that we're not, we weren't being counted in, or we're being denied, but maybe we have more of a part than people realize, and maybe that's a little bit of where, like, say, maybe even Kanye West or Kyrie are saying they're, like what Kanye West was saying is, I can't be an anti-Semite if I'm Jew. Okay, there's some theories, what I'm trying to explain, that some people that are black or African were part of maybe 12 tribes of Israel and things like that, but are being denied that they were a part. So there is something about kind of being that 12 tribes. Okay, so various things that there is a part in there and a role, but they're not being counted. Okay, so there's some theories in that. Okay, this is what these guys are talking about, but it's coming out completely wrong. Okay, I'm not defending, I'm just explaining it just a little bit. And so, like, say when Kyrie Irving links this book, which is on Amazon, and I did try to read some of the reviews to get a little bit of the perspective of people, and then kind of look at the understanding. Is it historically accurate? Probably not. Okay, but not really. But I can see why people would kind of look at it, like when people start, oh, let me put this puzzle piece in there and there, people could connect and also take, wow, I'm a part of, my culture is a part of, 12 tribes. This is a big thing, right? Okay, I'm actually a part of, something big that is being denied my heritage, and I found a secret. You know what I'm saying? So, this, it's hard to explain, but I get why people could, like, well, I could take some pride in that, but there's also a very dark anti-Semitic, stuff in the literature, okay, and stuff. So anyway, let me just explain it this way. With that said, I don't believe Kyrie Irving was trying to be anti-Semitic necessarily. He was more grasping the the maybe the positives of maybe believing that black people or people from Africa, how you want to say it. I don't want to say African American because this goes beyond before even America, okay, are part of that, the tribes, okay. Now, yeah, I could, let me step back even, like when we talk about, just say for example, there's 12 tribes of Israel, all that. What about the 144,000 in the Bible? How many people have claimed to be that? Okay, Jehovah's Witnesses claim it, right? Okay, light workers claim it. Okay, many groups, over years, centuries, whatever, have tried to claim who is that 144,000, which is supposed to be the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Okay, or part of it, coming from that. And there's a lot of people making that claim who the 144,000 are. Okay, so there's the whole thing. So see how people kind of claim certain parts, especially. And so I feel like Kyrie was trying to say, hey, this is kind of part, or he's feeling, and maybe reads this and just resonate. This is part, I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that culture history. And he's feeling something there. Okay. And so when he kind of posted a link, I don't feel he was trying to be necessarily anti-Semitic. I feel he was trying to say, hey, our culture, we have a connection to this over here. Okay, it was more of a kind of a spiritual kind of thing and stuff. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to defend, and I'm not trying to, certainly, and I'm trying to be very careful. And I'm very empathetic to anything anti-Semitic. I despise it. I despise it. I despise it. Okay, but at the same time, we also kind of have to, there's also things I could also say if I go to Israel, the stuff going on in Israel versus Palestine, is a very sad, horrible situation as well. Okay. So, so I'm just trying to kind of this is kind of why these guys are saying what they're saying, and that's why Kanye West has said, hey, I can't be Semitic because I am doing this. This is what because some of this philosophy and this theory, which is, no, it's not. It's not accurate. They're believing. Okay, so I'm just trying to explain and stuff. However, let me step back as I say that. Definitely, people that have come from Africa, Black people, and so forth. There are the parts in cultures and everything. There is history. There is very rich history there in all kinds of things that people are unaware of. That I mean, thank God even for the internet that certain things can be found and can be discovered. People in Africa, cultures, kings and queens and leaders and warriors and also even influence in Egypt and all that. There is a whole rich culture there, for people to kind of go out, discover and learn. And so they have, especially some pride and heritage that for so long, what has been stripped. We know that. And so, I understand what they're saying. I understand why they're saying it, but they're being influenced with some wrong info. But I can see why they were influenced in a certain way. Okay. But it, of course, it's the wrong, it's not good. It's not good. Okay, so, but the thing is, even with Kyrie, the pressure that they're putting on, he's already come and apologized. And I almost feel like this is just, bear with me when I kind of, say things. Okay, I mean, they've already, they're really wanting to make an example of this guy. Okay, for what he said, certain punishments. He's already tried to apologize, but there are certain things he doesn't want to because he's believing something in his soul, okay? But also, they're wanting him to pay $500,000 to something, and they're wanting to, it's almost like they're going a little too hard on the guy. I'm just saying, this is just some of the things I feel, and it's causing a lot of controversy, and, it's frustrating. One of the things, no matter though, with the whole thing with Kyrie Irving and Kanye and stuff, I still feel some horses, if they could just be stripped down and dropped and stuff, it could really open some good discussion. I do see some awakening moments happening. Kyrie probably needs a little more time. I know he's working on something here. I can definitely see he's working on something. And really, when he talks, he seems like a decent person. But like I said, he's being influenced. He read this, and something spoke to him. Okay, and stuff, and obviously, kind of, he may have read the same book. I mean, because there's a little something in there that's very similar. But there is an awakening, definitely awakening process that is happening with Kanye, and now also, he's starting to say things that are very huge and dramatic, especially about like the music industry, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But now that I've kind of said that, like I said, I'm trying to be very careful. I don't want people coming after me. You're being, what you support? I'm not supporting. I'm definitely, of course, saying that this book, it does not appear to be historically accurate and stuff. But I understand why some, Kyrie Irving would read it and how he could be influenced. The book is meant to influence, okay, African Americans and stuff. And I do believe somewhere in there, the author, I'm just getting, my back is itching. The author, they are probably believing some of this too, from maybe whatever research or whatever they kind of, but it's kind of some dangerous philosophy, okay. So, certainly not of people having some kind of pride or anything. Do not get me wrong, but this, it could take down an anti-Semitic road, okay, which we don't want that happening. That's a very dangerous road. We don't want to go there, okay. Well, let me just let you listen to Kanye. This was some very powerful stuff, and that's what I'm saying. If you listen, he's saying some good stuff here. Just if he could just get the dark forces off the back, he could make a difference, okay. This is some good stuff here.
I think my favorite part, obviously, is I love reading.
That's why I want you guys to hear this.
When they get their gift and they find something they love and they write back and they just didn't expect it. And
Go listen to all my music. It's the codes of self-esteem. It's the codes of who you are. If you're a Kanye West fan, you're not a fan of me. You're a fan of yourself. You will believe in yourself. I'm just the espresso. I'm just a shot in the morning to get you going, to make you believe that you can overcome that situation that you're dealing with all the time. They have you in a box. You can save the world, but you are working on things that are too small. Take a step back. Stop worrying about your college, your loans. Stop worrying about what job that they got waiting for you in Silicon Valley. MIT, you can save the world. Kids in college, you can save the world. I'm putting my life on this interview right now. It's up to y'all. Y'all have the ability to just step back from what you think culture is today. It's not about any candidate. It's not about red or blue. It's about humanity. Y'all talking about is 12 years of oxygen left. Talking about we gonna kill the earth. We can't kill the earth. We gonna kill the things that keep us alive on the earth, and the earth gonna survive. It's up to y'all. Y'all the future. But what y'all working on right now? We are following other people's opinions. We are controlled by the media. And today it all changes. We need to think how to think free. We need to be free thinkers. Then we need to learn how to feel free. People say feel free, but we don't even know how to feel free or think free. Say what you feel, positive and negative, grounded in reality. This reality has been forced upon us. It is a choice. Just like when I said slavery is a choice. The reality, we can make our own reality. We can talk about history, but not too long. We need to talk about our now, because we can fix and start loving each other now. But the thing is, we have the resources on this planet to have a human utopia, to have respect for each other, mankind. We have that. But we're too concerned about getting the next Hollywood film to Netflix. We have the resources. There's new billionaires every day. You apply the right type of thinkers, like the Elon Musk, the people with the real ideas. Like, politics is dead. It's over with. Politics, like, these kids need some type of real truth. I'm gonna stand up and I'm going to influence, and I'm just going to be me to the fullest. Because it's also with my approach, you know, it's a certain point of a level of like frustration, because waiting for everyone to agree may take too long. I'm not going to sit inside of a corporation for 20 years. The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you. Your entire life is a test. And when did you have the most anxiety in grammar school or high school?
No question.
On test day. So your entire life become this test. I ain't trying to say the right answer. I am just doing what I feel. My mama said trying is failing. There is no ifs, woulds, coulds, shoulds. It just is. And we just are. And it is so. It's simple. And this mentality should not be defeated. Yea, cannot die. Yea, cannot be buried. There is nothing. As a matter of fact, no enemy. The enemy is a concept that's out. Before I found Christ and gave my life to God, I would try to lean on my own understanding. And that's the universe is like a black hole of information.
What do you mean by your own understanding?
Meaning, when people ask Einstein, said, you're the smartest person, what would you like to know? Einstein's response was, I'd like to understand the mind of God. Meaning God is all-knowing, and we can only know or see, and for me as a visionary, we can only know or see what God allows us to see and what he feels we're ready to see and understand to maximize what our Maslow's hierarchy of need chart is. You know, what sets our dopamines, what sets our serotonins off, what makes us feel good. Basically, like, you know, we did a good deed, and it's like it was somehow, you know, just doing a beat for a local dope rapper really meant a lot to me when I was 14 years old. Doing a beat for just anyone famous that had a major record deal was a lot to me at age 19. Me being able to, you know, put out my own music, and that was a lot to me at age 24. Meaning, as I grow, God sets new stages in the game of life for me that you get your satisfaction. Like Maslow's hierarchy of need is like our satisfaction chart. What makes us feel whole and accomplished as a human being? So as I go through these different levels, there's times where I would use confidence when I knew what I was doing, and I would use arrogance when I didn't know what I was doing. But I'd rather use arrogance than to let someone diminish my idea of myself, because that is what keeps us going. Hope actually keeps us alive. Anybody you ask, most people, is like, do you want tomorrow to come? And they say yes, they have hope for it. But I went from having confidence and arrogance to having faith, and faith is the opposite of fear, and that created this fearless approach that I have, and that's what now has made me the fearless leader that I am, that I've like crystallized into the leader that my mom always knew I would be when kids followed me in preschool, the leader that people saw when we changed the sound of music.
You know, I like when Jay-Z said, show you how to move in a room full of vultures. Isn't that like you don't really have to change who you are and start saying, I'm going to be a snake, I'm going to be that. You know what I'm saying? Just know you can't let people use you or misuse them. Life is about using people, though. Just don't misuse them.
I mean, just in life, if you like the type of music and you listen to it all the time, you know, why not follow your heart? Why not follow what makes you happy? I remember when the song the movie American Werewolf in Paris came out, and it had the theme song, I think it was by Blur, Nothing Hurts Like Your Mouth, Mouth, Mouth. And like me and my friends used to love that song so much.
Oh, good. I froze for a
like the
second.
song or something because of where we were from. Or we like songs like So Kiss Me Under the Moonlit Starlight. Like all these songs are just these incredible melodies from the 80s and from the 90s. A lot of the 90s stuff. And people keep on saying 80s, but they were like Mr. Jones and me. All these sweeping melodies in Nirvana and shit like that. Like
like, I really love music, and I love to sing songs, and I can make music. So why not just make music? The greatest thing that a man has to give to anyone, whether it's their kids or whether it's their wife, is time. And how much time do we spend, chasing the American dream or chasing money and materialistic things? How much time do we actually give to the women and children?
Oh,
another weekend spent running errands.
interrupt with us. It's pretty powerful.
Some of this stuff.
Oh, sir.
And that's what this album, more so than, what type of music, the way I chose to express it, that message is what people need to leave with the most, I think. There's a balance of family and calling that I specifically have. I have to protect and take care of my family and make sure with the power that God has put in my hand that I do everything that I can as the father to provide the best chance at them being the maximum success that they can be. I think people focus too much on the past and focus too much on regret. Even like when you deal with schools, like you take like the slave idea. My point is, I've heard of history class. I've never heard of a class that breaks down how you balance a checkbook or how you control your finances, which my father never taught me that. And I've never heard of a future class. So they keep us so focused on history that we start to believe that it actually repeats itself. And we become overly traditional, and we can't advance as a race of beings. We get too caught up in the past and what everyone's saying, what everyone's tweeting, and sometimes you just have to be fearless enough to break the simulation. I refuse to follow those rules that society has set up in the way that they control people with low self-esteem, with improper information, with branding, with marketing. I refuse to follow those rules. It's about truth. It's about information. It's about awesomeness. And the only luxury is time. The time you spend with your family. That's the only luxury to this concept. A lot of people say, okay, well, you have to do music. I'm going to keep doing music, but what if people told me I couldn't rap? What would have happened? What if people told me I couldn't perform? I have other goals and other things, and I'm going to use my platform, every platform, to stand up and say, I want to make something. I want to make the next Ralph Lauren. That was the point of the Zayn interview, that say people don't stand up and protect their dreams. People are too scared of getting, spoofed in a way.
Wow. You see what I'm saying? That's pretty powerful. There's I know he kind of throws, there's that little bit of slavery story. It's explained a little bit more what he's saying. Okay. And in as you can see, that really, when you listen to all that, and that comes very deep from his heart and soul, it looks like that there's something, that's breaking free and has a lot to say. Now, like I said, I definitely feel there's still some dark forces that if he could just get out of that, kind of this weirdness, this madness, he could impact people in a positive way. There is hope there. There is hope there. But yeah, that's very powerful. It was kind of funny. I was just scrolling my phone, just kind of while I was letting that play, as we were talking about, because there was some of the various anti-Semitic has been sadly mixed in there, and it's like, God, if we could just get this cleared out, he could really say some things that are really good. Now, people are still listening though, they're listening more to this stuff than that stuff, okay? And and stuff. This is why people are paying attention. There's vids and vids and vids. I just came across this. This is actually on Facebook. Apparently, this is a page called The Lights of Kabbalah. And this is from, hopefully I can pronounce this correctly. This is written by Rabbi Titzvi Freeman. And I was just reading this. It says, what is it that the child has to teach? The child naively believes that everything should be fair and everyone should be honest and only good should prevail, that everybody should have what they want, and there should be no pain or sadness. The child believes the world should be perfect, and is outraged to discover it is not. And the child is right. It was pretty amazing. I just happened to come across that. Like I said, when Spirit wants to talk, Spirit will talk. Okay? And I was looking at that and just, thinking of this. And, just remember when I was talking about the young and what they're looking at, because there's still a little child in there. And really, isn't there a little child in all of us? Life should be fair. And this is the hard part, because there are times when I've done readings and I've made that statement. Even though the child says it should be fair, I have said, Spirit did not promise upon coming into this world in this lifetime that life would be fair. Okay? They do not promise this. I can't make the promise. Look at the freaking planet. We weren't promised that life would be fair. Okay? But somewhere in there, upon coming to planet Earth, to be able to awaken, to do something with that, to make a positive impact, we all got to kind of tap into our purpose and what it's about. And one of the things I was also watching a little bit, God, if I can find it, also somebody was talking here. I was looking at something. I know Jordan Peterson is always all over. I'm not going to bore you with his videos. You can watch so many of them. But he was kind of having a discussion, with somebody about, Jungian, which I do like that. At least he likes to look at the Jungian, the collective. He definitely believes in the collective consciousness. Yep, there it is. And it was actually a very interesting one. I'm going to have my teacher watch this, because it's called The Entities That Exist Within Psychedelics. And he was talking with Dennis McKenna, which, if anybody knows Terrence McKenna, and back in the day, the psychedelics. So that one I had to look at. But just with some little bits of talk, and I know Jordan Peterson, he also looks at the Bible and various things, and he's kind of got he's got a lot of critics, but he's got a lot of people who listen to him. And everything. He tries to kind of come off, superior, and I know he's been quoted as being, the stupid man's, what is it? The stupid man's intelligent man, or I don't know, something, but anyway, just, reminding, when I kind of look at all of this and everybody coming in with their perspectives, be it Kanye, be it Kyrie, be it Jordan Peterson, be it Donald Trump, be it people that are voting Republican or Democrat, or even myself, or even you, every one of us, just like the scriptures say, we all see through a glass darkly. And, one of the things is that, no matter what, we can only see or really know what the Spirit's going to show us. We are limited to that. What Spirit's going to show us, reveal to us, we are limited to that. That's one thing. And that's why sometimes it's like I'm fighting for information. If I'm trying to read or whatever, Spirit will reveal what they will. And if they don't want us to know something, they can, but no matter what, we all are seeing through glass darkly. And, one day that will be taken out of the way. Okay. And we will come face to face. Okay. How you want to define what face to face is, we will have to find out when that happens. Okay. So I just wanted to give that kind of little bit of perspective, and everything. Oh, but yes, let me get to the other thing that everybody's talking about. Let me talk briefly about it. As this is we're about an hour. That's not too terrible. I know I get wordy. And Kanye West also made, he's kind of coming out with saying some things a little bit about the industry, and he kind of talked about sacrifices, and that's got a lot of videos going, because there's a lot of things, not just even totally music industry, but, when he makes his statement, sacrifices. Like his mother was sacrificed, and then he kind of started talking about other celebrities. Is there some kind of weird sacrifice when somebody takes on this weird kind of fame thing? So that got a whole lot of spinning controversy and stuff like that. But let me go and play. It's just a real 2-minute snip. He was sitting in his car and somebody bid him.
Press you.
Oh, whoa. Oh, maybe Spirit don't want to play it. Hold on. Give me a moment.
Nightly Films is sponsored by
That was freaky. Hold on a minute.
Press you. But that's how they try to categorize.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you.
Oh, hold on.
But they can't control me.
Okay.
See, it ain't no name I won't name. It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that,
Hold on. I'm not sure what's going on. I know that Spirit. Hold on. Ooh, does Spirit not want this played? I don't know what's going on.
Press you.
Give me a minute.
That's how they try to categorize.
I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Need you.
You understand?
Yeah. Appreciate
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still, Forbes, who hate me, right, had to write net worth 400 million. Jesus is king. God loved me.
That's more important thing in life.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozy, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
Wow. So see that little snip, that little 2-minute snip and stuff is getting a lot of attention. Okay. Which I know that what was I gonna say? The there's a lot. You can pull up thousands of videos of creators that have talked about the music industry, Illuminati, dark forces, and stuff. Is there definitely something kind of sinister with the music industry? Oh, definitely. I definitely have my concerns about it. Especially if you look, at videos having a certain, they're getting dark. Okay. There's kind of some weird stuff, but let me go to, it's not the first time he said that word sacrificed. I did find an article because I looked it up. I wanted to see what people are saying. So give me a moment. Hold on. Let me go to because I bookmarked that article. Give me find it. Hold on, trying to find it. Yep, there it is. Okay, this is on BET. Okay, website. Kanye West on his ultimate sacrifice, My Mom, is the name of the article. And it says, GOOD, music founder blames himself for mother's death. This was an article that was done June 27th, 2015. Kanye West's admiration for his mother is known by everyone. Since her death, the rapper has not spoken much about how it affected him until now. In an interview with Q Magazine, Ye revealed that he blames himself for her passing. According to Us Magazine, when asked what in his life he has sacrificed for his incredible success, the 38-year-old said, "My mom." He continued, "If I had never moved to LA, she'd be alive. I don't want to go far into it because it will bring me to tears." And So, and then a little bit, Donda West, an English professor, passed away in 2007 at the age of 58 after suffering complications from elective surgery. Following a procedure in California, her health began to deteriorate. She died shortly after being admitted in a hospital in Marina del Rey. The, quote, only one performer has since started a family with his own with Kim Kardashian. So that was, in there. And then later on in the interview, West spoke highly of their firstborn North, saying that she is now his biggest priority. While Nori's here in Europe, I have a 6-hour day with her because otherwise I'll just work and she'll get scheduled around meetings, he said. Instead, the meetings will get scheduled around her. We're sure his mother would be proud of the father he's become. The August 2015 issue of Q Magazine hits newsstand June 30th. Now, I just want to say, so that article came out in 2015, so that was quite some time ago. And what he's saying, but he doesn't explain exactly what that means. I know that, but it's obviously it's sparking something because he said it just recently, and various people that have talked about these celebrities and various things, this theory of a sacrifice to become which for all intents and purposes, when I kind of read this article, it doesn't sound like something intentional, but is there some kind of maybe a belief or a thing that people, the price of fame, something like that happens. It's it's a heavy thing, but there's not, I mean, what can I really say on something like that? That's kind of a tough one. I have a feeling more is to come, that Kanye will make certain statements that are probably going to blow us away. And I know some people have made comments. Let me try to be careful as I word this. Some people have made comments as he's getting bolder and bolder about saying things. Is he gonna stay alive? And stuff. There's kind of some weird stuff. Now I know I did make a comment. Just recently, I talked about some things even with Kanye, but the passing of Coolio is another big thing. That's got a lot of people talking too. And if you guys know about that, Coolio, of course, was a very popular rapper who did Gangster Paradise, Fantastic Voyage, and if you remember, Dangerous Minds, with Michelle Pfeiffer, that song took off and that made him very big. He was 58. But he was just starting to talk about some things about the music industry. Okay, and he coming out and saying some things. Okay, and is it kind of bizarre? And then he ended up passing away. Apparently, as a matter of fact, I'm not even sure if they 100% determined. Well, his son did say, I believe maybe something with the heart. He was dead in the bathroom at 58, and he was starting to say some stuff, okay, about kind of music industry and some things that he had told everybody, like say he was doing things on Instagram that he was going to start talking about more and more about some things and stuff. So, I guess my point is this: is there some kind of dark forces and weird stuff? There's something. I'm not gonna say there's not. Okay, and it's definitely a big thing. But I know when I kind of looked into what happened with Coolio and what he was saying, and I've known a little bit about this for some time, I was like, oh man, And so, of course, like I said, you could check YouTube and Google the death of Coolio, and there's a lot of conspiracy with that as well. But he was just starting to say stuff, and so. But the thing is, with Kanye, he's a pretty big, presence at the moment. So a lot of people are kind of keeping an eye, like, well, he's saying things, he's, and stuff, and as he's doing it, how well is he protected, and things. It's pretty crazy stuff. Okay, but that's why I wanted to kind of talk about that and kind of show you the vid that, I do believe that, like I said, I'm not trying to defend, I'm trying to understand. I always try to explain to you guys, that I do feel like he's going through this kind of unraveling, this kind of awakening, this kind of struggle. He looks like a madman. And maybe try to explain a little bit why maybe some of these things that him and Kyrie Irving have kind of said, no, they shouldn't. Okay, and there's, and that's why I see some of this little bit of dark force, kind of messing with, okay, that maybe could be stopping something, that they have something to say that is important to the public, but when this stuff starts permeating, it muddies the waters really bad. But there is definitely with Kanye, I do believe an awakening process is happening. So I know he looks like a mad. Other people will think he's a madman and crazy and all that. But then if you catch him in some moments like that moment, is the media, definitely the media messing with, and is, all kinds of stuff. Yes, and his politics should be dead. Yes, and stuff. There's some powerful things he says. Okay, I'm keeping some eyes on. The collective right now is in a very powerful transition. We are witnessing a massive crumbling. We've been witnessing this for quite some time. It's heavy duty, and that's why I tell you guys, no matter what's going on, no matter what you see, with the collective, keep the head above water at all times. Okay, because there are forces, there's lower astral forces that want to just suck people down into a crazy madness, and then there's also those that are awakening, that still got head above water, that are trying to enlighten and stuff, and kind of wake people up, and everything, especially before it's too late, before we all sink each other, basically, before we sink each other. God help us, heaven help us. Let me go and throw down a few just cards real quick before I go and I do that and everything. So, heavy stuff, and I gotta get to those reads, man. And that's why, like I said, I know my channel's not very big, but if it reaches a few, that's great. I hope so. Just to try to give you, like I said, I'm not trying to excuse, certain things. I'm not, okay, not at all. Except, but I do feel something like I feel that, almost like his higher self, the messages are trying to come through. But certain things, muddy waters. Okay, this is kind of a relationship to Gaia deck. It's very, very good, and this is just like it says here, humanity's relationship to Gaia is changing. Slowly, humans are returning to an ancient system that honors Mother Nature. Understand that your relationship to Gaia is powerful. It can even extend your lifespan. Very powerful. We are trying. This is something there, that there are those, that are awakening in light. We're trying to return to, Mother Earth, Gaia, and everything get, awaken, become awake, aware, and part of this awakening, if I was going to look even on a strange biological level, okay, even if I was going to look at a scientific level, an awakening would be necessary for human beings to survive, to save the planet. Because if we all go down lower astral, right, what's going to happen to us, okay, and stuff. So, this has to take place and everything, so we can maybe, get a shot at fixing some things here. And we'll pull one more. Benevolent energies of Gaia. As you gaze at the full majesty of nature, it is simply beauty that touches you, or is it something more? Let the benevolent energies of Gaia push right into your heart. Allow yourself to receive the love that this planet has for you. This planet loves us. That's why we're still here. Okay? This planet, spirit loves us. That's why we're still here. Even with our bad behavior, even with the horrible things that humans have done to each other, to this planet, the things that we do, we're still here. Why? Because this planet loves us. Are we even worthy of it sometimes? Are we even worthy? The planet, spirit still sees some kind of good in us. Okay, somewhere, because there are still, people that do kind, loving things for each other. It still does happen. And that's why, it has been wanting us, wake up, come on, let's get it. Okay. Spirit does love us. And kind of like Kanye is saying, God loves me. That's the one thing that kind of maybe reassures them. God loves me. That's one message. And God, but don't forget, Kanye, you're right. God loves you, but God loves all of us. And even the worst of the worst. So always remember that. Even the worst of the worst, even folks who are got to get it together. Even Trump. God loves Trump too, guys. I know it's hard to believe, and I'm putting everything in the wrong deck. What am I doing here? I'm totally confused now. I gotta get to work. Okay, I see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of messing up and stuff. So just want to get you those messages. So we're gonna see pretty quick here. Yes, I will. I will definitely get some reads coming. As far as Trump versus Ron DeSantis and all that good stuff, things that are going on. But yeah, keep an eye. This is, he's making a powerful mark in the collective. Pay attention to what's going on, guys. Always signs, synchronicities, and everything. Keep head above water. Don't let the lower astral take you under, and everything. And don't think you're, even I too, and stuff. Don't think you're so smart. It can't happen. You get, so always be like, what, I can be just as vulnerable as any other person. Okay, so we want to do everything we can so we're not. I hope this helps.